Hey guys, welcome to the first video in my Video Nasties YouTube channel. Get to know me a little bit. First off, I am a movie collector. I specialize in horror cult exploitation movies. I think most people on YouTube, that have DVD collection updates and everything, they specialize in it as well, Started watching, Cool Duders videos when I was younger. I'd say probably like 2007. I've loved horror movies for a very long time now. And I'm 21 years old, so it's not like it's a very long time. It just feels like I've been into them for a very long time. And have my whole life to go. There's a ton of horror movies out there. Just have plenty of time to watch. The first video, I'd like to start out by showing you my favorite horror movies. Now, I kind of split horror into a couple different categories. There's horror, there's like comedy horror, there is like exploitation, cult movies. I consider them all separate. So I would like to start with straight horror movies. I'll start from 10 down to my favorite horror movie. And again, these are straight horror movies, so if they are funny, they're not like parodies of anything, or they're just made to be scary, I'd say. And I'd like to start out with, this actually doesn't have a straight DVD release. I've been hearing things that, it may, and people are waiting, but it's a very good movie. It's filmed sort of like in a documentary style, but I like it. I think it has very good atmosphere, and that is The Town That Dreaded Sundown. And I believe I do have this on VHS somewhere. This was actually one of my first VHS tapes once I started collecting VHS tapes. I'm kind of getting disturbed in the amount of people that are getting into digital distribution. I prefer to have, a physical copy of something. So, whether it's Paragon Big Box, DVD, Blu-ray, I need something physical. But as far as the movie goes, it's in my top 10 of straight horror movies. I'm pretty sure you can find it at any convention you go to, really. So Chiller Theater, Monster Mania, wherever you go, those are the two that are in my area. But it's a good one. I'd say check it out. Like I said, it is. I don't think it ever had a proper DVD release. So you can probably download it, put it on your own DVD. I got this at Monster Mania the last time I went there. Okay, the next movie I'd like to talk about is a film, again, I'd say this one's kind of strange. And I have a hard time saying that it's straight horror because of how strange it is. But it's a great horror movie nevertheless, and it was released by Wild Eye Releasing, and that is Crawl Space, and it's about a very, very weird character. He decides to go into this couple's crawl space and live there, and they eventually find out that this guy's living in their crawl space, and I think it's very funny in some parts, and very, very awkward. The guy who played, the main character, I can't remember his name. Very similar to Bad Ronald. It even says that on the back, that it's similar to Bad Ronald. Both good, TV shows, movie TV shows. Or made-for-TV movies. But yeah, the guy lives in the couple's basement, and they kind of pick him up as a son, and I remember this like really awkward scene with them all at the table for Christmas or something. It's really weird, but like after you're done watching the film, like it's complete, like you're satisfied that it's just a great movie. It's really hard to explain, but if you watch it, you'll know what I mean. The next one up, this is, I'd say, where it gets to more well known. I tried to take some of the ones that you know, are more well known, you know, like the Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, any George Romero's. I try to keep them out because everybody's heard of them. You know, there's a few movies I kept out just because, you know, I want you guys to see these films. They are more obscure, but not too obscure, I would say. The next one up is Race with the Devil, and that has Peter Fonda in it. And I think this crosses the line between horror and exploitation. I do think this movie creeps me out more than a lot of like straight horror movies. You know, the ending scene is probably like one of the scenes that gives me, like, you know, the chills. You know, the cult in this movie is very creepy. I think they're coming out with a new release of this pretty soon. I don't know if it's VCI or Code Red or one of the companies. They're going to put this on as a 2-pack with something else. I can't remember, but I think that's going to be released in April. Alright, the next one is even more well known, but again, still a lot of people haven't heard of it, and that is the unofficial sequel to Dawn of the Dead, which is Zombie 2, and it's Lucio Fulci, and he is probably my favorite horror director, just because, I mean, his movies are extremely hard to comprehend sometimes, but if you look at it, I don't think any director can portray a sense of unease and make you feel like you're watching your nightmare. It has very good music in pretty much any of his movies. Really good atmosphere in anyone. And you know, this movie takes place like on an island and everything. It does show New York at the beginning, like there's a zombie on the boat. I'm trying to remember, I haven't watched this in a while. This was released by Shriek Show. There's a couple releases out there. Shriek Show was Media Blasters. I don't know if they still are. But this was a good release. There is a couple good documentaries. I think there is commentary. Yeah, there is. But very nice one to check out, and probably one of my favorite zombie siege scenes in this movie right here. Okay, the next one, this wasn't released for a while, believe it or not, but you know, it was actually, I think, I don't know if it was written or produced by the Weinstein brothers, and that is The Burning. And I just think it's like a good horror slasher movie. You know, I don't really care for the Nightmare on Elm Streets or you know, the Friday the 13th movies, and I don't really care if this was after Nightmare on Elm Street or whatever. I just felt like this movie was 100 times better than any of the Friday the 13th movies or any of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies I've seen. It's just creepier. I think it's more violent, which, I mean, you know, these are good things. MGM released this. This is one of those things I'm pretty sure they'll come out on Blu-ray pretty soon. Okay, the next one. Some people would say it kind of reaches some humorous levels. Um, I don't really see that. I mean, I see the scenes where you could kind of consider it funny, but I actually consider it kind of darker than, even some of the George Romero movies. I consider this film extremely dark. I don't know why people think it's so funny. I mean, I get it, the brains part, but that leads me into The Return of the Living Dead. This is the Blu-ray. It actually has the DVD in it. I do have the it's basically the same one, but just the DVD with like what is it? The lenticular cover. But I thought they did a really good job with this release. And I've heard from some people. I think I heard from Cool Dude at first that they took out like some audio. And that's actually just found on the VHS copy, and I do not have the VHS copy. They have the VHS, and then the work print. I've seen the work print at several conventions I've been to, and I've never picked that up because I never knew, if it was worth seeing, but I'll probably pick it up the next time I'm out. But basically, this movie, this guy, well, I should say these two guys work for this this company that specializes, I guess they keep dead bodies in there for studying. So there's like dead dogs, dead animals, dead humans, and they actually have a canister that has some kind of chemical in it, and the chemical gets dispersed, gets in a graveyard, and then all zombies come to life, or all